Starting something new can be overwhelming, and because there's also a lot of advice out there and half of it contradicts the other half, so sometimes it's so confusing for beginners and overwhelming to know exactly what to do and what not to do. But after experiencing some of these mistakes for myself while creating short form content on Instagram and TikTok, I realized that these mistakes are so easy to make, especially in the early stages when you are just getting started in the beginning. So today I'm just sharing 7 mistakes that I am intentionally avoiding now that I'm putting my content on a new platform, that is YouTube. By the end of this video, you would know exactly what not to do when starting on YouTube, especially if you are building a digital product business. Alright, mistake number 1, and that is starting without a freebie. And here is why this is a mistake. So when someone watches your video and finds value in that video, they are ready to take the next step. If you don't give them anything to take with them and they finish watching your video and they just leave, you've lost an opportunity to stay connected with that person. Think about it like this. They came to you for help. Now you've helped them with your content and now they are gone. That's a wasted opportunity. So before I even posted my very first video on this channel, I made sure that I have a free resources ready. It is also something valuable, something that can actually help them take action, because the goal isn't just to get the views. The goal is actually building connection with people who actually need what you are offering or what you are teaching. So if you are not offering freebie, you are leaving both money and relationship on the table. Mistake number 2 is inconsistency. And here's why this is a mistake. The platform that you are most consistent on is the one that you are likely to be successful on. And it's also the platform that would actually work for you. If you post 3 videos, then disappear for a month, this is not ideal because the algorithm doesn't push or reward inconsistent creators. And your audience too, there's a chance that they will forget you. So I made a decision early on and I decided to choose consistency over perfection. I'd rather post a good content on the regular basis than wait for a perfect content that's probably not gonna get created in the first place. And I know when you are just starting, it's easy to not be consistent because in the early stages the views are going to be low, the engagement is not going to be there, it's going to feel like nobody is even watching, and then you start wondering if you should actually keep going, or you start wondering if this is worth it, and you start doubting, right? But even despite all of that, despite the low views, despite the low engagement, despite not having any comments or any likes, it doesn't matter. I've decided I'm going to keep showing up regardless, because consistency is what builds momentum, and then momentum is actually where you start seeing results. So if you are not consistent, it's just going to hurt you in the long run. So I've made a decision that I won't be making that mistake. If I'm saying that I will post maybe 2 times every month, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. If I said I will post maybe 1 time a week, I want to stay consistent to that, stay true to that. So you decide whatever makes sense for you. If that's posting 2 times in a month, then just stick with that and be true to that. If that's posting 1 time a week, stick with that. So for me, I've decided in the beginning I would do 1 content in a week, and I'm really trying to stay true to that and be consistent with that. Moving on to mistake number 3, and that is selling too early. I'm actually guilty of this one as well. When I first started on social media, I just started selling right away, and I see a lot of beginners also make this mistake, and this is not the way to go at all, knowing what I know now. Because when you are brand new, it's easy to start pushing your products immediately, and people can feel that. It feels transactional and it feels like you're just here to take their money. And when you haven't built trust yet, they are not buying. So you end up even damaging your reputation before you have even started at all, or you end up losing trust, losing customer before you've even begun. So on this channel, I've said I'm not going to push any products in the early stages. I'm just going to focus on building trust, building connection with my viewers. My focus is trust and just sharing value and showing up and proving that I'm here to truly help, not just to sell. And now that doesn't mean that I don't have offers. I do have offers, but I'm just not leading with them in the early stages. But what I do have is free resources. I have one linked in the description box of this video. It's called the Digital Offer Generator. It helps you generate digital products and offers idea with just a few clicks. So instead of guessing or stressing about what to create, the generator is going to just give it to you in seconds. It's an amazing tool. You can check it out. It's completely free, but that's the point. I am giving and serving before asking, right? Because trust always comes first and then sale comes later. So that is something that I am very mindful of. And then mistake number 4 is making content without purpose. This was something I was also doing with my short form content, just putting content out there just for the sake of being active, or just for the sake of, oh, I have to post, right? And I've learned that that's a huge mistake. If it doesn't help somebody move forward, move someone from point A to point B, then what is the point? People want value, right? Especially if you are building a digital product business. There are some people that post content for entertainment, right? But if you are building a digital product business, you are not here to entertain people. You are here to help people and to give value to people. I'm very conscious of that. Value is non-negotiable for me. So the videos have to be helpful, has to give value, has to solve a problem, have to give clarity in one way or the other. Mistake number 5 is obsessing over outcomes. So this is very common for beginners, because when you start in the beginning, it's easy to start obsessing over numbers, and you start saying, oh, when I start my YouTube, I have to monetize in 3 months, I have to get 1,000 views in 2 weeks. All that numbers is just going to stress you out for no reason. So instead of obsessing about certain amount, oh, I have to make X amount of dollars in the first month. So once you start obsessing with numbers, you stop enjoying the process, because when you are not hitting these numbers, you start panicking and you start making decisions out of anxiety instead of strategy. That is when you start chasing trend. That is when you start copying other people, and then you start to lose your voice. And ironically, that actually slows your growth. So knowing what I know now, I'm not setting any expectation on monetization or on the view. My only focus is the work. Creating helpful content, showing up, getting better with my videos every time, because that's all I have to do. And if I do that, if I just put in the work, the results will follow. So I'm taking it one step at a time, and I'm just enjoying the process. I'm just enjoying the journey without any stress, without any expectations. Mistake number 6 is comparison. This is so easy to do. It's easy for you to start comparing yourself with people that have already been around for so much longer. You start comparing your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20. Please, that is just not the way to go. Because when you start comparing your beginning to somebody else's middle, you start feeling like you are behind, why you are actually not. Then you start second guessing yourself. You start thinking maybe you are not good enough. So I've come to learn that every creator that we look up to, they actually start from zero. They are sitting at the same point where you are right now, where I'm at right now. They also started with 0 views. They started with 0 subscribers. They started with earning $0. Some even started with 0 clue as to what they were actually doing. So I made the decision that I'm building this channel, not trying to be someone else. So I decided that I am the brand. My perspective, my voice, the way I show up is exactly what makes my channel worth watching. And mistake number 7, this one is a mistake that I see a lot of people make, a lot of beginners make, is overcomplicating the beginning. Oh my goodness, it's so easy to overcomplicate things before you even start, because that's when you start thinking you need a perfect branding, you need a full content calendar, you need a fancy equipment, you want everything figured out perfect to the T before you even start. And then you end up being stuck in planning mode for so long, and the longer you wait, the longer you delay your growth. I know of many people that have been planning to start a YouTube channel for not even months, years, right? And they never started, even though they know that they truly want to do this. But because they've overcomplicated, and they are even still stuck on trying to start because they are waiting for perfect. But let me burst your bubbles. Perfect never comes. You are going to keep finding reasons to not start. You are going to still keep finding things that you need to buy, things that you need to start. So I made a decision to just start with what I have and just improve along the way, because clarity always comes from doing, not planning. So if you've been waiting, I hope this is your sign to actually start, and just start before you feel ready. And you figure it out as you go, just like everybody else. And because you stay with me up to this moment, I'm going to give you a bonus mistake number 8. And this one is super practical. This is the one that I had from another creator. It's actually a setting on your YouTube called auto dubbing. So apparently content stopped getting views, and she was trying to figure out what happened, and she realized that there was actually a setting inside her YouTube studio that was interpreting our content into different languages and just pushing out our content all over the world instead of to our specific target audience where they are. This setting was turned on automatically, but as soon as she turned it off, everything came back to normal and our views went up and it was doing well. So when I started on YouTube, that was the first thing that I went to check. I had to make sure that that auto dubbing was turned off, because I don't want to fail before I even started.
So this is how you're going to find the settings, the auto dubbing settings. So inside your YouTube studio, you want to go in your settings. So I'm going to click on the settings, and then you want to go under channel, click on the channel, and then you want to click on the advanced settings. Okay, so now we are going to scroll down under advanced settings, and as you can see, automatic dubbing is here. So it's asking me to enable it, but I'm not going to do that. I don't want to enable it, so I'm going to be leaving it like this. So if yours is telling you to disable it, so that would mean that yours is currently on, right? And then you might want to click disable for yourself. So that is just how you find the setting. So it's just, safe to just see, just in case. So check if you haven't yet.
So if you are already posting on YouTube or you are planning to start, so it's something that you should look into and just check, just to be safe. Here are the 7 mistakes and the 1 bonus that I'm intentionally avoided. And I'm sharing these mistakes not because I have it figured out, but because these are some of the things that I wish that somebody had really told me or sat me down and break down for me. So I hope this mistake saves you some time and saves you some frustration, some headaches. And if this was helpful, go watch this next video on the screen. It's about 5 simple tips that actually helped me to start recording the content for my YouTube channel. And I've also linked it down in the description box as well. And don't forget to grab your digital offer generator. It's also linked in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.